So, welcome to 7 Ways to Market Your Book from Home. I'm going to ask you guys to mute. I'm going to ask you guys to mute until we have questions, just because there's so many of us. It does give background noise, and we don't want that. Thanks so much. Okay, so here we go. 7 ways to market your book from home. First thing, where are you on your book journey? So some people just have an idea. They've been planning to write their book and one day they're going to do it. Some others have started writing typo number one. You guys watch out for them. Oh, they're fixed. Um, some people have started writing their books but haven't finished to completion. Others of you hopefully have already published your book and you're just looking for ways to promote it. So, one of the things, if you'll look, I have some solutions to some of these things as we go along, and they will have the information at the bottom. So, if your book is not done, I do a thing called Get Your Book Done Now, and I'd love to share that with you. You'd find it at getyourbookdonenow.info. Okay, so 7 ways to market your book from home. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Deborah Thorne, the Information Diva. I'm an author, coach, trainer, and speaker. And I love to say the proud host of the Leverage Conference for speakers, authors, and entrepreneurs. This is our third year. It will be November 18th through the 20th, and it is totally virtual. Also, you will see text Diva to 21,000, and that is my digital business card. It is the easiest way to get any information for contacting me. And I have come to understand everyone doesn't understand the text system. So if you would take out your phone and act as though you were sending a text message, where the number goes, you will write the number where the phone number would normally go. You'll write 21,000, so 21000, and the message that you would send is Diva. It does not have to be capitalized. So the message is Diva. The telephone number is 21000, and you push send, and it will tell you how to open up to get all things Information Diva, my phone number, email, all kinds of stuff there. So thanks for taking a moment to do that. Okay, so very first thing that you have to have in the or rather the number one thing we're going to start with for our 7 ways is a marketing plan. Now, I'm not talking about the big fancy thing that you put together to go to the bank or whatever. What I'm saying is you have to be able to know where you're headed. Okay. What do you want to have happen? When you wrote your book, you had an idea. And many of us start off with, I just have to share this story. If people just knew my story, they would do something. Well, let me tell you, create it and they will buy is not a strategy for success. That's how the conference came about, because we want to give people step by step. So let me start with thinking in terms of when you wrote your book. For many of us, our books are glorified, beautiful business cards. And basically, that's all they are. I never wanted or planned to make money as an author. It was more to get me out there, to get people to know who I was and what my message was. And I personally, so let me say this, because people always say, well, have you written a book? Yes, I have. I've written over a dozen books. I have co authored, I don't even know how many anymore. I've kind of lost track of them. And I continue to help people get their books done quickly. But as far as the marketing plan itself is concerned, you're looking for a short, concise thing of where you want to go. Where are you headed with the book? And where is the best place to do it? And particularly in a time like now, the pandemic has changed all of our lives so differently, but it has actually made marketing things so much easier, because before, where people were skittish about getting online or looking at social media or joining you on Zoom, everybody has learned to do it. So that makes it easier on one hand. The solution that we offer is the $2 biz solution, and that goes live May 1st. And what that is a series of books and videos and things teaching you how to do something short and concise. It costs $1.97. So it's in everybody's price point. I like to say jokingly, if you can't afford $1.97, we have bigger issues, and let me help you with that. So coming to you soon, May 1st, the $2 Biz Solution at the $2 bizsolution.com. And there, you can learn about marketing plans. But again, what we're looking for this time is who are the people you're speaking to, and where are we going to find them, and what do you want to happen as a result? And let's learn to be results oriented, because that's what business is based on, not on how we feel, which is the way glorified hobbies happen. Okay, so number two, attend networking events. When we were not in pandemic times, the best you could do was attend maybe one, two networking events a week. I know personally, my goals were to attend at least four networking events a week. I now attend, 4 or 5 a day. Thursday is my networking day, because I have several organizations that host their meetings that day. And I am literally networking from 10 o'clock in the morning till 7 o'clock in the evening. But I'm networking with people all over the country and even out of the country. And so we have those opportunities. And again, because of pandemic times, everybody knows how to use Zoom. So get on Zoom and start networking with people. And remember, too often we make the mistake of believing that we go to networking events to sell our product, in this case, our book. People in the organization are not your target market, okay? They didn't come to buy, they came to share information. So I always encourage people to look for people who have like audiences, people who have like things that their promise, their desire to go forward is similar to yours, so you can connect and collaborate. Again, the conference is built around that. When we use the term leverage, it means networking plus collaboration equals opportunity, and that's leverage. So your networking events are for you to gain more ability to collaborate and to create more opportunities. You don't go to networking events to sell your product or service or your book. People aren't there to buy. Now, if you have a one on one meeting with someone and they're really interested, then you can offer the book. But it's always a good thing to tell people that you're an author, because people are extremely impressed by that. And that's what gets you on other people's platforms and things. And we'll talk a little bit more about others' platforms a little bit later. Oh, this little bit later. How about that? Other people's platforms. So, those podcasts that you listen to, if they piqued your interest and your target market would be at listening to that podcast, reach out to the podcaster. They're always looking for guests, and they love guests who have social proof. A book is social proof. There are other people's podcasts, other people's blogs, anything somebody else is doing and it resonates with your target market, then that's where you want to be. You use that, even other people's Facebook groups, people's Facebook pages. Once again, you're not there to sell necessarily. You're there to provide information and share with people why you are the solution, why your book is what they ought to read, that kind of thing. Okay. So the next one, Facebook business page. Your book should have its own Facebook business page. Now, those of you who know me closely know Facebook and I have a very strong love-hate relationship. I don't like Facebook, but I'm all over Facebook. Why? Because my target market, authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs, they're all over Facebook. So I have to put my personal opinions aside and go forward. If you know my journey, I got kicked off Facebook, almost 2 years ago now. And what a mess that made. I had to set up a whole new profile. And then just recently, I've come back as Deborah Thorne. So you can find Deborah Thorne, the Information Diva, on Facebook. But you want your book to have its own Facebook page. And the reason for that is you can set it so that nobody else gets to post, and you can post chapters about your book. You can have your own discussions about your book. We're going to talk about Facebook Live a little bit, but you have the ability to create this business page becomes your whole marketing piece, if you will. It's how you use it. Now, once again, in the right lower corner, we have a solution. How do I do that internet.com? And that's to cover things like Facebook, because I know a lot of people still aren't real comfortable, still don't understand. Basically, as people of color, we're used to getting in front of people and socializing and having a good time. And that's how we've traditionally done business. But this last year has taught us that although that is viable and we do it, we have to learn another way. So if we can be of any assistance with you at the Information Diva, here, go to how do I do that internet.com. But number one, when you get off this call, first thing, go to Facebook and create a business page. It is not to have it commingled with your personal page. This page is all about your book. The name of the page should be your book's title. The graphics should all be your book cover or about your book or the things that do that. The other thing, just a coachable moment here. This is not the time to talk about who you are. Who you are is totally irrelevant. We're talking about your book and why make your book a star. Okay, Facebook groups. This is like the unsung hero that people oftentimes miss. Now, many of us are a part of other people's groups. You know, you go in and somebody sent you an invitation to join their group. You join their group, you go by and look periodically. But you want to set up your own Facebook group. Now, here you got a little bit of choices. You can set up your group as people who are interested in a certain topic, the one that your book covers, or you can actually make it a Facebook group about your book, or you can make it a Facebook group about people who are most likely to like that kind of book. But you want to set up a group because in a group, Facebook gives you a lot of liberty. And if you notice, they run commercials about Facebook groups. They want people using groups. There are groups who figured out ways to monetize it. The only thing I caution you is to be sure that you stay within Facebook's guidelines, because when you step out, sometimes you run into problems. But Facebook groups allow you to invite people in, and they can make a decision about, liking what you're talking about, but you have direct access to people who are interested. You now know who's interested in your topic, and you can have conversations in there. You can actually do Facebook Lives, you can do interviews in there. You can use your Facebook group as your own network. Imagine a television network. That's what your Facebook group is. You make it is your whole network. It is your blog. Well, not is, can be. It can be your blog. It can be where you put more chapters of your book together. It's where you can vet people and ask them about the next book coming up. You can run polls in there. The whole idea is to form the group and get people interactive. Your imagination is what limits it, but you really want to get to know how to use Facebook groups for your book. The next one, and this is really a biggie, you got to learn to use Facebook Live. And I know all the reasons. First of all, ladies, we got to have our hair and makeup on point, okay? Otherwise, we're not getting in front of a bunch of people. And we've got all these things. Oh, I don't like to be in front of the camera, but you watch TV, they're in front of the camera. You can do the same thing. Facebook Live can be your own television show if that's how you choose to do it. It can be all about your book. You can do Facebook Lives reading the first chapter of your book or telling why a particular character or a particular story or a particular section of your book exists. You get a chance to interact with people who already like you because they had to know you some kind of how to get into the group or to get into your Facebook Live. But the idea is that you open it up once again to whatever your imagination will allow. And again, we got that solution because I know people don't want to get on if you're not familiar with Facebook Live. I have a Facebook group that is strictly for people going on to practice Facebook Live. People who are part of that group can go in at any time and put up a video. You don't have to worry about your friends looking at you doing looking foolish and all that. And one of my mentors says your first 50 videos are going to be horrible. By 51, you're a pro. I don't think it takes us quite 50 videos, but the first ones are going to be horrible. I even challenge people, ladies, this is us. Do a Facebook Live with no makeup and your hair not particularly done so you can get over that. Because one of the things I want you to start paying attention to, the so called big guys, the ones who are making the money, look at how they're dressed. I'm like always appalled because, ladies, we put it together. They get on, I've seen wrinkled t-shirts, I've seen not necessarily clean t-shirts. They're on doing it, but they're making the money. And, I was part of that. Ooh, can't you get better clothes? People. And I'm sitting there, but he's making the money and I'm not making the money. There's money to be made in Facebook Live. You want to know how to do it. It's really simple. You just go on and practice, but sometimes we need a hand holding. And if that's the case, how do I do that? Internet.com is the place to go to learn that. After you've done Facebook Lives, you can download them and put them on YouTube. Once again, forming your own channel. If you go to my YouTube page, it is called the Information Diva Network. Why? Because each one of those playlists is a separate thing that I'm doing. You can go into the playlist and find out. Well, you're going to find out what I did here today because that's going into the playlist. I have a playlist that talks about the conference. I have a playlist that talks about our podcast. You can do the same thing. And these things that I have given you up to now, none of them cost any money. Now, there are resources that can help you with that. There's a resource that takes your Facebook Live and automatically posts it different places. Okay. There's another resource that allows you to actually have it look more like a television station with the lower thirds with your title and the title of the episode. And you can put um, advertising in a corner or however you want to do it. But those are the things you want to look at. How do I make this bigger and better? And I can do it with the use of the internet. So that's YouTube. And just so you know, there are people making six figures doing YouTube. Not that everybody is, but it can be done. So we want to take a look at it. Before I get to this, the same thing is true. Let me go back a minute so you're not distracted. The same thing is true about Clubhouse. I didn't put Clubhouse on here, but those of you who have iPhones, and unfortunately it's still iPhone oriented, you have to have an iPhone or an iPad. But let me leave this little tidbit with you. And, I kind of look at Clubhouse like I looked at Facebook in the beginning. It's just a game and it's a plaything. But the young folks at Clubhouse managed to get their business valued at 4 billion with a B dollars, and they are in talks to sell it. And the conversation is at the $4 billion mark, and the company is just a year old. Okay, so pay attention. There's something happening on that platform. The other thing is there's an article out now, and if you can't find it, email me and I'll send you a copy. Where they're talking about a woman who made $60,000 in a month on Clubhouse. So let us not continue to sleep on things. And at one point, the largest group on Clubhouse was Black folks. So pay attention. As usual, we hear about things after other people. Somebody needs to mute, please, because we can hear you. Thank you. Okay, so another way to get your message out is provide things that people can see. I'm a part of this book collaboration. And this is a card that I sent to the person who wrote the book. Yeah, she has her name on it, so it's her book, but I'm one of the 45 collaborators in there. This is a greeting card with the cover of the book on it. Inexpensively, you can send these out to people with your book cover on it and your messages inside, letting your community know that your book is out. I also sent her a mug with this is the book cover and this is the back side of what the mug says. Uh-oh, sorry about that. Which congratulated her on getting the book done because it was something that she wanted to do. For you to experience what this particular tool does, I've invited you to join my birthday circle. One of the things I do is celebrate people's birthdays, and automatically I send you something for your birthday. And I already promised that because today was not the way we thought it was going to be. We had technical challenges. If you will join my birthday club by going to the divas birthdaycircle.com, then I'm gonna send you something special just for, waiting it through with me because I want you to know that I appreciate it, and one of the things that my business focuses on is showing my clients that I care about them and that I appreciate them. We've all heard that people do business with people they know, like, and trust. And then we add and remember. Something you do has to stick out so people know that, yes, that's someone I want to do business with. And this next solution is one I want to share with you. Um, you can get a 14-day free trial. Take a look at it. Go to 14-day free trial.info, not .com, that's somebody else. So .info, and take a look, sign up. If you sign up, I promise to get in touch with you and help walk you through it to help you see the value that it would hold for your business, your book. And we got 14 days to do it so that where it's not costing you anything. And I would love the opportunity to share that with you. Well, you guys, we got through and we still have some time for question and answer. So I'm going to stop the sharing. Well, let me do this way because, I don't want any problems. Let me stop it from here. Okay. And I'm back. So if there are any questions anybody has, unmute yourself. Those of you, oh my goodness, we got this is that system. There are like 25 of you guys that are watching, and I know you're there, but I don't have a way of really interacting with you other than the chat. So please put it in chat. Again, anytime you want to reach me, the best way, over my shoulder, text Diva to 21,000. And it shows you can get on my calendar if you want to have a chat, something resonated with you, want some more information, you know, we, certainly welcome you to do that. And I am here to serve. Are there any questions? Yes, no? If you have questions, can you put it in the chat? The birthday. Oh, sure. It was in there, but I will put it again. Let's see if I still have it saved. Nope, that's something different. Sorry. Let me do this. Okay, it is HTTPS. Um, okay, and I am famous for making typos, so let me double check. birthdaycircle.com. That should be it. There you go. Okay. Lady Wilson says, "Uh-oh, I'm writing." Okay, you guys are putting it in faster than I can go. I'm writing my first book and I'd love some guidance on how to get started. Okay, guidance for how to get started. I do it a little differently than everybody else. Okay, so for me, my books are the best business cards ever. That's what I use them for. And I have a system, a framework that gets books from your idea to being published in 90 days or less. It is a specific framework. And we start with looking at what do you want the book to do or be at the end of the day? and work backwards towards that. Because again, just like your first video is not going to be your best, your first book is not going to be your best. It's going to have the most heart in it. You've got your heart in it and you put it together. And this is, I've heard people call it their baby, and it is. It's my baby. I want to take care of it and all that. But if you remember, those of you who are parents, that baby, when they came into the world, they had a lot of stuff wrong with them. They couldn't sit up, they couldn't hold food down, they pooped everywhere. Okay, that's that experience. And then we have to get to a point where with your children, they learn to stand on their own, they learn to do things. Well, the same thing with this baby, your book. The first one's not going to be your best. I encourage people to get it done and get it done quickly. Okay. I'm not the person to work with if you're looking to, I always tell people, if you're trying to get a Pulitzer Prize or write War and Peace, I'm not your girl. If you want to get a book out that will help you get your message out, that will help you to be interviewed different places, invited to do things, then I can help with that. And what it has to do, first of all, you got to get it published. Talking about it doesn't work. Once you have it in your hand, you have something that you can go with. And the system that I teach allows you to go back and make changes if necessary. If you look at it and you go, I thought this was going to sound a certain way or look a certain way, you can go back in and just edit those pieces so that when the book comes out, when somebody buys it again, it is the corrected version. So that's hopes that answers your questions. I'm going back up in case I missed somebody. So let me go down. What is the book of, whoa, wait. What if the title of your book is taken for Facebook and other internet outlets? Okay, so let's be creative. Um, that's part of who we are, Nina. We're going to be really creative. So if you remember, one of the sites I said was, how do I do that internet? Well, the reason it's called that is that the whole series that I did of trainings is called How Do I Do That? When I went to buy the domain name, it was not available. So then I've got, okay, how do I do that online? How do I do that with Deb? How do I do that with the Diva? I came up with how do I do that internet? Well, it's the same kind of thing. That's what's going to happen with your Facebook group and any other things. My own let me tell you this story. This is really good. When I started the Information Diva, of course I wanted the informationdiva.com. It was not available. A Black woman owned it, and I kind of once a year or so checked in. Then it became available. And remember, whenever you're searching for things, there are people who make that their business, they search. So the domain was offered to me for $5,000. Well, you guys who know me know, not even happening close. So I just said, okay, I created my website. It was the informationdivaonline.com. My Gmail is the informationdivaonline at gmail.com. So I just put online with everything. I was purchasing some domains recently within the last year, and periodically I would check the Information Diva. I checked the informationdiva.com was available and I bought it for $8 versus the $5,000. So, if you got a name that you're stuck on that you want, what is the variation you can use, and keep checking to be sure to see if it becomes available later. I'd like resources on how to okay, how about self-publish, Lady Wilson? And that's part of the system where I refer people to is KDP. uh get it together. Kindle Publishing Direct, KD. No, Kindle Direct Publishing. Okay, that's what Amazon renamed their company. I use that. Others say there are other places they would rather be that are less expensive or whatever. This works for me because you can print a book, you get a book back in your hand for $2.15. So it's not a major investment, and there are things that you can do with it. Also, I just came across another tool, what's it called? Book Bolt. And for those of us who like journals and that kind of thing, this helps you create them in minutes and put them up. So there are lots of tools, lots of opportunities out there, and that's how I help. Da, 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 da. Let's see. For first-time writers, do you recommend self-publishing or seeking agent? Oh, please don't go down the agent rabbit hole. And let me tell you why. Because so much is being self-published, the whole game has changed. Typically, unless you are already a celebrity, an agent is not going to deal with you. Same is true for a publisher. If you have a name that everyone recognizes and basically you're known by a first name, Oprah can walk in anywhere and get a book deal. Okay? She's probably beating book deals get back, okay? You or I walk in, we don't have that. Even if they have a conversation with you, whatever they offer you is so overpriced and so out of whack. And I just want to remind you guys to be really careful because in the fine print on many of these things, you'll find out you don't own your own information. And that can be a real problem. Okay. So I'm not the person to advise you on that because I've never done a book deal with an agent or a publisher, and that's part of the reason why. And I know people personally who went that route, and I'm not good on rejection. They get a lot of rejections. It's like trying to be an actress. That's not me because I don't want people telling me no. I got an issue with that. But one of my family members, my sister, who is a writer, and she was devoted time to this and money and energy and resources, and she was reaching out to in the typical publishing way and became so discouraged. And I said to her, well, have you considered self-publishing? She wasn't wanting to do that at the time, and I got that. So then one evening I was talking to her and I mean, really, she had become so very discouraged. And I said, well, why don't we? She said, I guess I'm going to have to learn how to self publish. I said, but I know how to do that. And within less than 2 hours, I said, you go get a cup of tea. I'm going to go get a cup of coffee. Let's both take a break and come back and let's get it done. And within 2 hours, her book was up and published. Okay. The original copy was on its way to her. She's gone on to make thousands of dollars because my sister's a PhD, works with children. Her books are children friendly and they teach methodology within it. And she's well known in the homeschooling network. So, you know, you take for me, I like to take charge of what I have. If I'm not gonna make any money, I'd rather be broke on my terms than broke on somebody else's terms. That's just me. Nina, what if you plan to write more than one book? Yes. And there will be different topics, but all are for children. Would it be better to have a Facebook name like no? Because if you had something like okay, so I think what you're saying, I don't know how you would pronounce that, children link or something, for example. No. Okay, so Facebook groups don't cost you anything but time. Each book deserves its own group and time. And then when you get so many people that is too much in a group, you can funnel them somewhere else. But what we have to be careful with as creatives, we come up with so many things and so many ideas, and we just want to get it done. And I want to tell the world that I got this great message about, I got all that. Do the first one, get that first one done, and then we'll talk about what to do with number two. So, for example, I have a book series called The Entrepreneurial Women of Faith. It's book collaborations. Okay. It's for women of faith. Our first book was entitled Entrepreneurial Women of Faith Sharing Their Anchor Scriptures. And it was a book where people talked about what scripture was most important to them and why. The second book was called Entrepreneurial Women of Faith Mothers and Daughters. And it was about the relationships between mothers and daughters or the lack thereof. Okay. Our third installment that we're gathering together now is called Entrepreneurial Women of Faith 2020, a year of faith. Because if you ever needed your faith, you needed it in 2020. But what I want you to hear, there is a running theme. All of the books start out with Entrepreneurial Women of Faith. So when you go to Amazon, they end up being linked together. We have groups that are called Entrepreneurial Women of Faith. We also have to remember to be very careful when we're naming things, not the name we love, but the name that will resonate with people, that they'll get it as soon as they see it. What we as creatives, entrepreneurs, one of the mistakes I made over and over again was buying into what people should know, do, be, rather than where they are. One of my mentors says, a confused mind always says no. And that is so true. Anytime you have to explain to somebody why the title of something is what it is, you've already lost the battle. I've got to make it so simple that, for instance, the sign over my shoulder. People, I'm on Zooms all day long, and that stays there. People will text because I get notified that people have done it, and they won't ever ask, won't say anything. They just do it. You got to make it so easy that people don't think about it. They just do it. Okay, let me see. Okay, I think I've just about caught up. If there's any questions somebody has now, put it up because we've got like 5 minutes. Again, I am the Information Diva. I'm open and available to you to be of service. If you just want to have a chat, if you will text Diva to 21,000, my calendar is there. It says, let's do coffee. And so that's 30 minutes we can sit and chat about whatever you want because I use that time to get to know people. Angela, can I be of help? You unmuted, so was there something you wanted to say? Nope. Okay. Anybody else? I want to thank you guys for coming out and spending some time with me. Again, I apologize for our early technical issues, but you know what? I also know that if you don't learn to go past that, I already had a plan B. Okay. When I realized we were going to have a problem, it was like, okay, we will do this, give me your information and then I can reach back out to you while you guys were talking. And this is the way I want you to think. I'm sitting here getting ready for today, and I go, you know what? I'm going to make an ebook out of that. There will be an ebook done tonight before I go to bed from this conversation. Every time you speak or whatever, look for other ways to put it out there. Okay. So let me see. Something did show up. What if there were other books with your little with your title but have a different? That's confusing to people. Be careful with that because subtitles don't always show up wherever people go. So if all people saw was entrepreneurial women of faith, they would have no idea what the book was about. Remember, a confused mind says no. Ryan, you unmuted. May I help?
Yes, thank you very much for doing a great job.
Well,
Really
thank you.
appreciate it. I have one book already published, and I'm working on two more right now. I wanted to know, you said KDP is the best self-publishing because
I said that's what I use. Okay. Okay, let me be really clear. That's what I use. And I'm pretty much of a loyalist. Once I get in and spend time learning a system, I don't care what else comes up. I'm not gonna try to learn a whole new system because that's part of the problem. We jump from thing to thing because somebody said, oh no, that's too expensive. I got this over here. No, you know what? Learn what you learn and make it work unless there's a real problem. So for me, we use KDP and everything that I do when I'm teaching people with my own books. As a matter of fact, like I said, when I get through with you guys with this, there will be a book up tonight before I go to bed from this session. Okay. And that's what I want people to understand. It is that simple. But where we as a community, and I'm gonna lay it out there, I'm that girl. We like to see the other folks with their shiny stuff. We still, some of us believe white man's ice is colder, and we go running over there, find out it ain't colder, it's the same temperature, and then you want to come back. Now you really don't have no money because you told me you didn't have any money before we started. And then you went over there and found some money to pay them. Now you come back and now you're discouraged and you're depending on me to say, okay, let me help you. But no, you guys, we're going to all step up to the plate. I've given all the free stuff I can, I will. I got a $2 university. If you can't figure out $2, I can't help you. And I'm here to serve. So, but you get the 30 minutes, do coffee with me. I'd love to chat with you guys.
Yeah, that's good, and I'll definitely try to link up with you. But I
Okay.
also what in terms of pricing,
Depends on
KDP.
what. Oh, KDP, $2.15 per book.
My goodness, wow.
$2.15.
Okay, in terms of package, like how much do they?
$2.15. When you create it on there, it goes on Amazon automatically. If you purchase the books, you pay $2.15 a piece. If they go on Amazon, Amazon has a big name, and so you're exposed to other people, but Amazon takes a big chunk of the money. The challenge is people don't know you anyway. People like to know that your book is on Amazon, but that, as far as the smaller folks, that's not where we make our money. I don't even make money off the $2.15. I give those away because I'm looking at the long run. Where is that going to introduce me? The ebook that we're talking about is going to be up. It'll be like $1, $2, because I want to tell people to go over there and get it, because it legitimizes that I am an author, and some people need to see that, especially as we do this who's who. Now, here's going to be the problem, you guys. I don't have control over it. It is now noon, and I know somebody else is coming up. So we will get cut off. So I'm going to go ahead and say my goodbyes. You have ways of getting in touch with me. I am more than willing to be there, set up some time to do coffee with me. And what is it? I want a juice ebook. Okay. Ebooks are so easy to do. Ask me how to do them. If you can do a Word document, you've done an ebook. I'll show you how to do it. I just got on. Please tell me how to have a session with you. Go to Text Diva to 21,000. So open up your phone where the phone number goes, you put 21,000, then the message is Diva. What it does is gives you my digital business card, which has my phone number, it has my email address, and it also says Let's Do Coffee. If you click the Let's Do Coffee link, you can set up a conversation with me for 30 minutes and we just sit back and chit chat. Okay, you guys, been my honor and pleasure. One of the reasons I want you to do that is I want to stay in touch with you too. As it is now, all the information is gone that way. I don't have any way of contacting you or following up. If you will do that or join my birthday circle, then it'll be back and forth and I can let you know what's going on. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I am Deborah Thorne, the Information Diva. It has been an honor and a pleasure. Oh, and stop by my booth. I'm going to put my stuff back up as soon as we finish. Thank you so very much. Have an absolutely awesome day and enjoy the expo. Talk to you later. Bye bye.